Quantum computing poses a huge threat to encrypted information, so what's going to happen to Bitcoin? Let's break down the risks and some solutions. Bitcoin security is built on encryption algorithms like ECDSA. This is what protects your private keys and secures transactions. It's true that quantum computers in theory could crack these algorithms and your 24-word seed phrase much faster than a traditional computer, but here's the key. Bitcoin isn't static. The protocol is updatable when there's consensus among the network participants. This means that if quantum computers ever become a real threat, Bitcoin can adopt quantum-resistant algorithms to stay secure. In fact, researchers are already developing and testing these algorithms to prepare for that possibility, and there are several like Kyber and dilithium that already exist. Now let's talk about where quantum computing actually stands today. Right now, quantum computers are mostly experimental. They're far from powerful enough to threaten Bitcoin, right, Lucy? To crack Bitcoin's encryption using one possible method, Shor's algorithm, a quantum computer would need at least 2,500 stable qubits. The most advanced quantum computers today, they have hundreds of qubits, and they still face major challenges with error correction and stability. Not to mention, they're expensive as hell. We're literally decades away from quantum computers being able to realistically target Bitcoin. So network participants, they're going to see this coming and they can take action long before it becomes a realistic threat. And here's another thing we got to think about. Even if quantum computers reach that level of power, Bitcoin is not the most attractive target. Your government, your bank, other global infrastructure also relies on encryption, and it's often much weaker than what Bitcoin uses. These are higher value targets for attackers than Bitcoin. Cracking a government's encryption or destabilizing a financial institution would be a lot easier and would have a far bigger impact. But that's another problem for another video. The good news is that Bitcoin is decentralized and adaptable. Its global network of developers and users has already shown how quickly they can implement upgrades like SegWit or Taproot when necessary. The bottom line, and the key takeaway, is that if a real quantum threat emerged, the Bitcoin community could adopt quantum-resistant encryption long before issues arise. So quantum computing is real and evolving, but it's not a reason to panic about your Bitcoin.